Welcome to my channel, E Smells Good. I'm E. I hope you're smelling good, but more importantly, I hope you're feeling even better. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you my top 10 fragrances for the winter. Now, by no means am I telling you that you need to run out and go buy all of these fragrances. I'm just giving you these recommendations as fragrances that I have worn heavily and have come to really love and enjoy throughout the winter months. And these fragrances are not listed in any particular order. Now, the first one on the list is going to be from the House of Bulgari, and it is Man in Black. Now, Man in Black is a warm, spicy fragrance that features notes of spices, tobacco, leather, and I believe even some rum. Mainly out of this one, I do get the spices and tobacco with a little bit of the leather and rum kind of sitting in the background. Overall, the fragrance has a lot of depth, which I think makes it very suitable for the winter time. It even has a little bit of an elegance to it, which I think allows it to be worn a little more upscale, but you could also pull this one off casually very easily. It certainly smells a lot more expensive than the price tag that you actually would end up paying for it. Once again, to start off our list, we have Man in Black from the House of Bulgari. Now, the second one on our list is going to be a clone fragrance from Fragrance World, and it is going to be Spectre Wraith. Now, this one is going to be a clone or dupe of Black Phantom from By Kilian. And overall, it does get extremely close to that Black Phantom DNA. You have your boozy accord, which comes from some rum, you have some spices, coffee, and you even have that sugarcane note, which is so prominent in Black Phantom. I have done a side-by-side comparison of this one, and I can say that this one gets very close to that Black Phantom DNA, enough so that I can say if you are in any way scared off by the price tag of the By Kilian counterpart, don't hesitate to spend the $30 to $35 that it would take to get this one. But that does come with a caveat. This is a very unique scent DNA. So if you know that you're a fan of Black Phantom, check this one out. If you're not quite sure, go somewhere, test out this DNA, and then make your decision. But overall, this one smells extremely beautiful. It has a bit of a darkness to it that almost comes across somewhat mysterious. I almost always want to wear black when I'm wearing this fragrance. And the warmth of this fragrance backed up with the sweetness and booziness just makes it absolutely perfect for the winter time. Once again, this one is Spectre Wraith from Fragrance World. Next up, we have one of my favorite wintertime fragrances. It's going to be from the House of Mugler, and it is Pure Malt from their Amen collection. Now, sadly, this one is discontinued. So if you're looking to get this one, you're either going to have to pay the marked up prices on places like eBay or even Mercari, or you'll have to go and try to find a dupe. Because of that, I don't wear this one as much as I used to. I wore it very, very heavily when I first got it, but once it got discontinued, I began to pull back a little bit, but that has not changed the fact that it is still one of my favorite wintertime scents. Now, mainly out of this one, I'm getting some fruitiness up top, and that is supported by a lot of woodiness, some slight spices, and a heavy, heavy dose of whiskey. Now, me personally, I am a huge fan of whiskeys and bourbons. So having a fragrance such as this one with such a prominent whiskey note feels very, very fitting, and it plays extremely well in the winter time. Similar to the one that I mentioned before, this one feels like it almost deserves to be worn when you have on all black, maybe even a black leather jacket, just kind of that masculine / mysterious kind of a vibe that I get out of this one. It always makes me think of some guy that's sitting in the corner of a bar. He's not really speaking, but you just kind of look over and you wonder what's going on in his head. That's kind of what this fragrance evokes for me. So if you're looking for a beautiful, sweet, woody, and extremely boozy scent for the wintertime, check out Pure Malt from the House of Mugler. Next on the list is going to be Dior Homme Intense. This one is going to be a very powdery iris scent that also has a bit of woodiness to it that I think makes it perfect for the colder seasons. I'm a huge fan of the Dior Homme line in general, and this one to me is the perfect one for the winter season. The only one that'd probably be better is Dior Homme Parfum, but unfortunately I have not gotten my hands on that one yet. This one has a lot of depth to it. There's almost a slight chocolatey nature that sits behind that powdery iris. and it smells extremely elegant. This is one that I really reserve for occasions where I know I'm going to be a little more dressed up, such as important events or even a date night. Now, I have heard a lot of talks that this one may be reformulated, and there are some dupes on the market if you're worried about that, but I am extremely grateful to have this bottle in my collection. Once again, perfect for the winter time. This one is Dior Homme Intense. Next up on our list, unfortunately, I do not have a full bottle presentation, but I do have a 10 milliliter decant that I've been working through, and that is Angel Share from By Kilian. This one is a beautiful, warm, spicy, boozy, sweet fragrance. You have notes of cognac, cinnamon, vanilla, oak, and praline that all come together to make a beautiful fragrance. If I had to try my best to explain the magic of this one, it smells almost like you took a freshly baked cinnamon roll and poured just a little bit of cognac around it.
This one has a little sweetness to it.
Perfect for the winter months. It's extremely cozy. It can be worn dressed up, dressed down. It doesn't really matter. Any setting where you want to smell virtually edible, this is a perfect fragrance to reach for. Once again, this one is Angel Share from By Kilian. All right, we're halfway through the list. If you've made it this far and you enjoy the content that I'm putting out, please don't forget to support the channel with a like, comment, and if you're really enjoying it, hit that subscribe button. Next on the list, we're going to swing the opposite direction when it comes to price and go to the clone house of Lattafa, and that will be Bade Al Oud, Oud for Glory. This is a very, very good take on the Oud for Greatness DNA from Initio, only this one comes at around $25-ish, while that one sits well over $300. Overall, from this one, I'm getting a lot of spices that's coming from the saffron and nutmeg that's supported with some lavender, some musk, and a heavy, heavy dose of oud. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I often talk about I do not like those ouds that lean very animalic, those stanky barnyard types of ouds. Thankfully, that is not what you have in this one. This one is a very beautiful, elegant smelling oud fragrance. And honestly, it smells leaps and bounds more expensive than the $25 that I paid for this. Its warmth and spice makes it perfect for the winter time. This is one that I reach for very heavily, whether it is to go to an event or to just go to the grocery store. If it's cold outside, there's a good chance I'm going to be reaching for this one. Once again, this one is from the House of Lattafa, and it is Bade Al Oud, Oud for Glory. Beautiful, beautiful presentation. Look at that black and gold, and this is metallic. All right, next on the list is going to be from the House of Mancera, and that is Red Tobacco. There are a ton of notes in this one, but the main thing that you're going to get is a heavy, heavy dose of spice and tobacco that sits on a little bit of oud in the base. This is another one that I would warn people, do not go out and blind buy this one. Sample this one, get a decant, find out if you truly are a fan of this DNA, because it can be a bit abrasive and a bit off-putting to people who do not like this type of scent. But if you have not noticed yet, I am a big, big fan of spices, especially when it comes to my winter fragrances, and this one is no different. It is a performance monster, which is why I still have so much of the fragrance left. Often when I wear this one, I do not need to go any more than 3-4 sprays is even pushing it with this one. But of the spicy tobacco style fragrances that I own, this one is one of my favorites. Now, I will say the opening is a bit harsh. I enjoy it, but some of the people around me don't always enjoy it. What I typically do is I spray this one on at least 30 minutes to an hour before I know I'm going to be around people. And then the dry down of this one is where the magic is, and that's where the compliments roll in for me. So if you like the idea of an extremely confident, uberly masculine, spicy tobacco oudy scent, then check out Red Tobacco from the House of Mancera. Next on the list is going to be from Tom Ford, and that is Ombre Leather. This has got to be one of the smoothest, most realistic leather scents I have ever gotten my nose on. You get some cardamom up top, leather that's going to ride from the beginning of the fragrance all the way to the end, and it's supported with some jasmine as well as some amber to help soften the fragrance up. As far as leather scents goes, this one is very soft, it's very inviting. It almost makes me think of your favorite soft leather jacket or even the leather in a luxury vehicle. It may be cliche, but I typically only reach for this one when I am wearing leather. I just think that it fits that vibe so perfectly. And I would go so far to say that this is almost a perfect beginner leather scent. If you haven't been very experienced with leather scents and you want to see what a very wearable leather scent could be, Tom Ford's Ombre Leather is the perfect one to do so. Perfect for those freezing cold days where you pull out your leather coat and your leather gloves. Once again, Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. The next one on the list is going to be another cheapie from Lattafa, and it is Amir Al Oud Intense Oud. You can see from the dent in this one that I have worn this one heavily. This one is kind of a play on the Maison Margiela's replica lines By the Fireplace. Now with this one, I do smell some differences from the original By the Fireplace, but overall it gets very, very close to that DNA, enough so that you can see I've worn almost half the bottle. Overall with this one, you're getting a very woody, slightly smoky scent that sits on a bed of vanilla. So if you're looking for a woody, vanillic, almost creamy woody scent for the wintertime, this is a great one to look into. And it comes at a price tag of below $20. And if I might add, this is a beautiful bottle, especially considering the cheap price tag that it comes with. Once again, this one is Lattafa's Amir Al Oud Intense Oud. The last one on the list is going to be, in my opinion, almost a quintessential winter fragrance. It is from Viktor & Rolf, and that is Spice Bomb Extreme. Now, the main things that I'm getting from this one is a lot of spices, of course, but it also has a bit of tobacco and a beautiful vanilla note that almost softens this one up with a little bit of sweetness. Where I reach for the original Spice Bomb heavily in the fall time, once those temperatures begin to dip below freezing, this is the one that I go for. A perfect blend of spiciness and sweetness, and also a perfect winter fragrance. Once again, this is Viktor & Rolf's Spice Bomb Extreme. That's going to be it. What did you think of my list? Leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite winter fragrances are. And until next time, peace.